All right, we are joined on the dais by East Carolina coach Michael Schwartz and RJ Felton. Coach, let's just start with some general comments from you, and then we'll open it for questions.
First off, hats off to UAB, their program, their players. That was a dynamic performance by Axel Lindeborg. As impressive as a game as I've seen in terms of what he did. So hats off to them and their program. This is obviously always a very disappointing and emotional game when it's potentially the last game for seniors and for this tight group to be together, and that's why we spend so much time in the locker room. We love this team. This team has done a lot of very special things this season, set a new standard for ECU basketball, led right by RJ Felton next to me, and as disappointed as we are, there is a feeling of pride that this team has established something in Greenville.
All right, anyone internally with a question? Chuck, we have someone on Zoom.
We do. We can go to Steve and I go, please.
Yeah, RJ, just coming to ECU 4 years ago, wanting to leave this place better than you found it. Can you just speak on that and everything you accomplished at ECU?
Well, walking in ECU, it was a whole different coach staff with Coach Dooley and Coach George Raisy. I still had the same mindset coming in, like I want to win a championship or change the culture around here. Next thing you know, got my man right next to me, Mike Schwartz, one of the best coaches I ever had. So I would say with this coaching staff, I really thank him a lot throughout my development, character development, and also becoming a better leader on and off the court. So I would say me staying here for my whole career, it's a huge success. I'm coming. This year we finished the season 19 and 14. We got 10 conference wins in the American. Something that nobody didn't really do. I would say this year was more of a success for me. Even though the outcomes of the game was, I would say, for further generation and for further teams, I would say I feel like we kind of changed the culture and bringing that mindset coming in for the new guys as well. Even with my departure of the seniors of Cam Hayes and C.J. Walker, I would say it's a big up. And as my career is here, I didn't realize hard work pay off. I just came in here. I came in here my freshman year, just individual-wise, just a guy that's athletic, that defends throughout the game and plays hard up. And my training development throughout the 3 years with Coach Riley, Coach Reg throughout, and also Coach Madison as well. So I would say kudos to the coaching staff and shout out to the Mean G Maniacs, shout out to all the ECU fan bases, and shout out to you, Steve and Igo, even though you're out there on Zoom as well, and to everybody else, man. I love every last one of y'all.
Awesome answer, RJ. Coach, I just want to follow up. You've been around a lot of great players, obviously. What will you remember most about RJ Felton specifically?
Like I've always said, man, anytime you're around somebody that plays for the front of the jersey as much as he does, he bleeds purple. I've said that often. And, RJ's had so many special moments on the court, games that we'll remember, we'll be able to relive, we'll be able to think about just the performances he had. But some of the things that will always stick with me with someone like RJ is how much he cared about his teammates, somebody that when you can honestly be more aware of how your teammates are feeling and the guys sitting next to you in the locker room than you are yourself sometimes, that's RJ Felton. And so to me, that's a very special trait and characteristic for a big-time player to have. And he absolutely is a big-time player. But for someone to care about his teammates and the way other people are feeling, I think is very, I think that's special. And then the other thing is, again, he alluded to his player development. When we came here with him, he trusted. There was a process. We talked about his development and what the foundation of ECU basketball was hopefully going to become. But you needed guys to put 2 feet into that and trust. And I remember my very first Zoom meeting before I was even on campus, talking with RJ. And I remember meeting him for the first time, and he put 2 feet in right from the beginning and bought into that development process, both on and off the court. And I believe that is really something I'll remember, because when you're committed like that, great stuff happens, and great stuff happens to good people, and that's what happened to RJ.
Okay, we'll go next to Brady Thomas, please.
This one's for you, Coach Schwartz. Can you kind of just touch on how great ECU and all the guys played down the stretch in conference play, and a historic season just in general for the Pirates?
Well, I appreciate you using that word great. I mean, I think it's sometimes hard for coaches to, to be able to say that or see that, and I'm not sure that I fully see that yet when I take a step back and do a reset and review, But from a number standpoint, winning games and winning 10 games, and for the 3rd year in a row, winning a conference tournament game here, which hadn't been done in the American, and as RJ said, 19 wins in terms of outside of the year that ECU won the CIT and won 5 games in the CIT and had 18 wins. I think 19 is the highest win total in the regular season plus conference tournament in the history of Division I. And you know what? It's credited to RJ Felton, Cam Hayes, CJ Walker, this coaching staff. And I thought February was a big month for ECU basketball. A lot of things. I mean, we could stay up here a long time and talk about what happened, but there's no doubt we were playing our best basketball, and I've used this term with the guys. ECU basketball is going to play meaningful games in March, and that's something that we want to make the standard, not the exception.
Okay, we'll go back to Stephen, please.
Coach, is the 3rd year you guys have made it to the quarterfinals, and then saw your season come to an end. Is there anything you pinpoint there that is the next step, or is each case a little bit different? Just early thoughts on that. Maybe too early to
No, I think that's a fair point. I mean, year one, Stephen, on that team, year one, you could have been playing minutes on that team with us, and we were playing the number 1 team in the country, and we were down 1 at halftime in the second round in the quarterfinals, and they ended up pulling away in the second half. I mean, we were thin that year, and that's what I'm alluding to in terms of youth, experience. We were just thin. We didn't have a big rotation. Last year, we get a win versus a very good Tulsa team, and the conference champion South Florida, a team that's as good as any team I've seen in 3 years here, beats us in the quarterfinals that year. And then this year, last night, another battle, another war with UTSA. We're fortunate to come out on top. And UAB, I said it in the press conference yesterday after the game, I think that's an NCAA caliber tournament team. I think they have he's the player of the year in this league along with PJ Haggerty in terms of, that performance today for them to go out and do that and him to play like that again, that's up there with some of the best sitting there as a coach that I've been a part of coaching against. He was dynamic. But all that being said, I'll say this, even if you're sitting there in the middle of the pack, if we finished 5th place, we got the 6th seed, in the second round, you're going to be playing one of the top 4. And that's what it is. And hopefully we want this program, what RJ Felton has helped us establish, that at some point we're sitting there and we can get that double bye. And that's what you pursue. We were in that battle late in the season up until really the final day of the regular season. We were in the hunt for a double bye, and that's, again, what we want to make the standard as we continue to build this basketball program this spring, this summer, and into next year.
Any other questions? Thanks, Stephen. We're good.
That's it? Coach, thank you.
Thank you.
RJ, thank you very much.
Appreciate Stephen, man.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Hey, appreciate it, RJ.
Thanks, Coach. Thanks, RJ.
Thank you, guys.